Batra Daf Kuf Mem Rimal starting from Kuf Mem Bet around 23 lines from the top. I would not a bit to someone told his wife, "Nechasai lebnai dahav minech, my belongings should be given to my sons who I'll have from you, future." Ata bere Kashisha, his live son from a previous marriage, came over to him. Amar le, "Hu hagavra mai tehele, what about me? What should be given to me?" Amar le, "Zil kneb kehad mibra. You take a portion like the other future sons that I'll have. So now, hanach badal kan dakat litnu. The future sons definitely did not acquire because they're not even remotely existing yet. Regarding this son that's alive now, does he get the gift that was given to him because he's supposed to take it with the other sons, but the other sons are not getting anything? So does he still get his portion? Or maybe he gets nothing because same way they don't get anything, he doesn't get anything as well. These rabbis say he does get it. These other rabbis say he doesn't get it. Let it be out. He says to him, "Hey, who's that like? Is group A that he gets it or group B that he does not get it? It has to be like us because we're older than you. And you're not chazan like you because you're younger. Does it make the halakhas go according to who's older, who's younger? It goes according to your reasoning. What's your reasoning? He says, go ask Rabbi Avin. I already explained it to him. And he said, yeah, he nodded towards the shul, the Bet Midrash. As the Gabay went to him, he says, Rabbi Avin mentioned to him, he said, if the father would have told the other son, acquire like a donkey, would he acquire it? Definitely not. Right, so this famous concept, Kenek Hamor, is saying like, oh, acquire this like a donkey. Same way donkey can't acquire it, he won't acquire it as well. Regardless, Itmar, Kenek Hamor look on him. If someone says acquire a gift like a donkey, he does not get it. At Vehamor, Vahamor. If someone says acquire it, and you and the donkey should acquire the gift. Rahman he acquires half. Rahuna says nothing happens. Rasha says that you get everything, not just half. How do I know he acquires it? If someone is making maaser on water on like a melon or cucumber, for example, he only is making maaser on the main center part, which is the sweetest part. Therefore, when he's stepping teruma from one for the other, he should add a piece of good flesh, of good inner portion of cucumber slash watermelon of a separate one, and add it to the cucumber that he wants to use as maaser, so that he makes sure that there's a sufficient amount of good maaser being given, yani good fruit. Where it says, am I? How come it works though? Atva hamorhu, it's a case of you and a donkey. Yani, you're splitting up this transaction between a good thing and a bad thing. The bad part of a cucumber and a good part of the second cucumber or watermelon. And therefore it should be seen like this case where I tell you, you acquire it with a donkey. The Gemara says no. We had this case before, meaning it works. We want you to give good quality teruma, but if you don't, it still works. So over here, we're just trying to make you do a better mitzvah. How do we know that bad teruma works, bad quality teruma works? Because Pasuk says, "Shneimar lov chet beharmichem et habo mimenu." We had this in early in Masechet. We had it in Bava Metzia. Pasuk says, "You shall not sin when you separate teruma." So it sounds like that if a person who were to make bad quality teruma would not work, then he wouldn't sin. Therefore, it must be that it works, but you get a sin. Okay. There's a famous concept in Kiddushin. There was a lady, five women, two sisters were hanging out together. So two of the five were sisters. He took a basket of figs, that was theirs, and it was also Shvi'it, well, Shemitah, Ayin Shem, what that means. All of you are married to me with this basket of figs. He proposed to all of them. One of them accepted upon all of them. Hamim say, the three girls are good, married to him. The two sisters are not because they're ineligible to be both be married at the same time. Only the sisters are not married, but the non-relatives, the other three are married. How come it works? The case where you have a case where a portion of the transaction is ineligible, like this case of these two sisters. So therefore, even three shouldn't work. The Gemara says, I'm not right, because that's what's married to sisters. This explains why I saw a rabbi in a dream. The motif Rav Avia Tivda, Rav Avia made this question. We established that Mishnah that he didn't just say, okay, all of you marry me. It says, whoever is able to marry me should marry me. Right? It's another kind of concept. A guy says to his wife, my belongings should belong to you and to your sons. Amar Rav Yosef Kantame has she gets half of that. Amar Rav Yosef Binay Minal Harin. The tenor Rabbi Yomer says, "V'heitel Aaron Banav." You shall split the bread for Aaron and his sons. Mahtel Aaron, Mahtel Banav, half to Aaron, half to his sons. So you see, when a person lists something to people, it gets split 50-50. Over that makes sense because Aaron was part of the transaction. He was getting a portion because he was a Kohen. That's why he wanted to split it in half. The woman who does not supposed to be part of the inheritance until now, maybe she shouldn't get half. Maybe she should split it evenly with the other sons. Where it says, "Any uvda have been but there's stories in case in Hadra, Agba Shmuel Bagla gave half. Betaveria, Bagba Rebbeinu Habaka, he also gave half. Betu Kiyater Revisak Bar Yosef Amar, he also said, Ahud me Kilila the Shadu Beg Malka Bagubba Starugne. There's a tax that was put on the crown, and the royal house put the tax to be paid via the wealthy people and the officers. Amar bin Nitivo Abule Palga ve'isroge Palga, let the wealthy pay half, and the officers who weren't wealthy also pay half. So Gemara says, no, hachi you can't bring a proof from that. Hatam ikra ki in general, when they used to write tax forms and they used to require taxes, akbule aviyatu, they would only put it against the wealthy. Ve'istruge have a misabehu, and the officers who were not as wealthy used to assist a little bit. The king obviously knows they used to pay. Hashta, the fact that he wrote it against the wealthy and the officers must be the merit of the high paga, they must be half and half. But I have a question. There was a guy who brought a korban mincha, and he said, "I want to bring 100 isarons to be brought in 2 containers." All right, so the acceptable private korban mincha is supposed to be brought smaller than 60 isarons. And now this guy wants to bring 2 containers for a total of 100. So Mevi Shishim Bikli Echad brings 60, which is the max, in one kli. Ba'arba'im Kli Echad and another 40 in the second kli. Ve'im Hevi Hamishim Bikli Echad B'Hamishim Bikli Echad, if he did it to 50-50, Mevi, yes, it works. So the Gemara says, Im Hevi In. That sounds like it only works with the Avad, that if he already brought it 50-50, then it works. But you shouldn't do it to begin with. You should do 60-40. But if you want to tell me that every time you list something, it should only be 50-50. I feel even so we should always divide it 50-50. Why 60-40? Where it says Hachi you can't compare. By the case of the korban mancha, why does he want to bring so much? Because he wants to bring a big korban. The fact they said in 2 kelim, they did the law of because then you can't bring in one because the max is 60. Therefore, therefore we bring as much as possible in a single kli, which is 60. In the machlokets of field, topic, and half we mentioned over here. Topic we said earlier a month ago is that when a person is talking about something, he retracts by saying something talk daily bore within a certain amount of seconds, he's able to retract via that. In the case of the fields, the person is able to pick his inheritance. We had in the beginning of the Sechet, person able to pick his inheritance via, and he's able to request that the field that he inherits is close to his own field. Okay. How does the person sent pieces of silk clothing to the house? Amar Biyameh, how do in the benim male clothing goes to the sons, how do in the benot female clothing goes to the daughters. That don't apply when there's no daughter-in-law. But itle kata, the kata shedar, but if he had daughter-in-law, he's assumed to send his daughter-in-law, not his married daughters. But if his daughters were not married, he would not abandon his daughters. Give to his daughter-in-law shalom bait. How would the guy who said to Rani, my belongings go to my sons? He only had a son and daughter. Does the person say, my one son is my son's, and therefore everything should go to him? Or when a person does not call his one son my sons, and therefore when he's saying sons, he means that my son and daughter should split it. Abai says, Tashma being a proof from Pasuk. Ubnei Dan Hushim. And the sons of Dan is Hushim must be, he had daughters, and it must be that even a single son can be referred to as sons, and the sons get everything. It doesn't mean that it was it doesn't mean Hoshim was not necessarily his name, but it was referring to that he had a lot of sons that were very, very populous. Like they had a lot of children like reeds. And therefore, different proof. Ubnei Falu Eliav, the sons of Falu Eliav. Yosef Amar, Ubnei Etan Azariah. And you bring a different pasuk. The sons of Etan is Azariah. We see over here again, a single son can be referred to as multiple sons. A certain guy went around telling people, my belongings are go to my sons. He had one son and one grandson. So now, or does the person call his grandson as a son, and therefore they split it? Oh, maybe not, and only the son gets it. The person does call his grandson a son, and therefore they split. He doesn't call it, and therefore they don't split. Someone says that he doesn't want to have benefit from his sons. He's able to have from his grandsons, and therefore we see from here that a person does not call his grandson his sons. Amen.